Purging started. Starting self-cleaning.
eat?
No.
Hmm?
Not egg.
Yeah, naman.
God.
Enough lang.
I'm gonna need that number.
Okay. Tama na yan. Tapos,